And just like that, it was February. What has been delivered today? And also, where is this file, this video, going to be stored? Because I've unplugged the drive that it normally saves to. Oh, well, you don't care. We'll find out. This inspired by, again, one of Eric Woods' Twitch streams. This is My Life, John Barry. I was not familiar with this one at all, but even its existence. But, yeah, found a copy of that online for not too much, so. Wednesday the 4th. Ready for this? That lot, all from the postman. Terrible, isn't it? Let's have a look. This cardboard box wrapped in brown parcel tape, wrapped in clear sellotape. Has got within it the Jerry Goldsmith rejected Gladiator. It's one of the gaps in the Goldsmith collection filled in. And John Addison's Moll Flanders, or The Amorous Adventures of. Then also we have Return Address Undeliverable Department. That's what the sticker says. Yes. Yes. (1864) by Marco Beltrami. Testament by James Horner. And Solace by David Stone Hamilton. This one's come from Rare Waves. And is that James Newton Howard compilation of M. Night Shyamalan scores. This one has come from Spain. And here's another tick off the Jerry Goldsmith list. Mr. Baseball. I know it's not considered his best by any means, but it's missing. And I thought I'd give a go at this. The film music of Alan Ferguson, Volume 3, Ironclads and April Morning. And then this clearly is some sort of vinyl. Let us see what this may be. Gosh. Tape on that end is very firm. That is filling in a gap in my John Williams collection, of which I was beginning to think there weren't any, but it's Lounge of the Giants. There is a CD version, but the LP was a lot cheaper to get hold of, so I thought I'd go with that. So there we are. Yes. Williams for like the first 2/3 of it, and Alexander Courage for the last third. jolly good. Look at that lot. Dear me. It's Thursday the 5th. Something that's just been delivered, labelled Handle with Care, Fragile. I can't imagine it's any more fragile than usual CDs, but let's see. Right, yeah. Okay, this will it's double album. Eric's often commented on the eclecticism of the filmish music and other things that end up in my collection, and this will probably exemplify that. This is a Manfred Mann album. Manfred Mann, Radio Days Volume 3, Chapter 3, Live Sessions and Studio Rarities. And you say, why? Because the majority of the second disc on this is excerpts from the soundtrack of Venus in Furs, a Jess Franco movie that we watched on the Film Crowd last week. And the consensus of everybody was, this film is weird, as Jess Franco films are, but the soundtrack's quite fun. And we all had a bit of a look online, and there is no official soundtrack album for it at all. But this album has got about as much as you're going to get of soundtrack on it. Which, as I say, it's 2-disc jobby, and it's like that much of disc 2 is the music from Venus in Furs. So that's that. It's Saturday the 7th. I'm in the middle of listening to Dan Goulding's show on ABC Classic, Australian radio station. One of the few radio shows that's good in terms of film music. Anyway, while I was listening to that, Postie's delivered this, so let's see what it is. This is funnily enough, Dan Goulding is this week doing a theme all of James Horner scores, and that's what I've received. Something to fill out a gap in my James Horner collection is the Spitfire Grill. So that's a nice coincidence. I wasn't doing that on purpose. It's Monday the 9th. What have I got here? 2 things. This one. What's this eBay, I think, yes. Tina Guo's Game On, which is obviously video game music. With her as a cello soloist. Let's get into that. That is still sealed. Yes, it looks like that's definitely an HMV price label. It didn't cost me £9.99. It cost me £3.83. Anyway, there we are. That's that. And the Taro Iwashiro, The Crossing. Previous thing that I've got by him was the Fukushima thing. Oops. There. Dear me, I'm trying getting into that. There we are. Good, isn't it? Good old cellophane. No broken teeth. That. Let's tip that. Right, so I'll need a placing the tray in that. Nice. That away. Nice. And then this one. Yeah, this comes from Oakland, California. It says. Right, yeah, this. It's the Entrada, a new DuckTales. 2 discs of Ron Jones. TV music. That. Oi. So there we are. Very good. Tuesday the 10th. Look at this. Don't know how much there is in that. Probably lots of packing chips. But not only packing chips, hopefully. Yes, lots of packing chips. We have... It's an FSM CDs. So, it's a bubble wrap. And we have 4 things once we get into it. We have, these are all just compilations really. The third in the series of those Space and Beyond silver screen discs, because I've got 1 and 2. We've already got Aliens, Ghostbusters, It Came From Outer Space, Judge Dredd, Robocop, The Time Machine. That's the Russell Garcia version. Back to the Future, The Cape. I'm familiar with that. It's John Debney and all that. Star Trek stuff. Last Starfighter, Silent Running, Journey to the Far Side of the Sun. It's Barry Gray. Lost in Space, Galaxy Quest, Things to Come, The Matrix, Meteor, Deep Impact, Armageddon, and Star Wars. That. We have one of Eric Kunzel's Cincinnati Pops albums. This is Beautiful Hollywood. We got Forrest Gump, River Runs Through It, Rob Roy, Jerry Maguire, Legends of the Fall, and so on and so forth. We have 30 Years of Classic Horror Film Music, which is another silver screen release. The Omen, She, James Bernard. Rabbit Street Baby, Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde, that's the Franz Waxman version. King Kong, Vampire Lovers, Harry Robinson. Fear in the Night, Exorcist to the Heretic, Hellraiser, and Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. That's David Whittaker. And classic music of John Barry, Volume 2. It's got Highroad to China, The Wrong Box, The Quest File, The Black Hole, The Appointment, The Scarlet Letter, Monty Walsh, The Knack, Cry the Beloved Country, and so on and so forth. So a bunch of compilations. It's Wednesday the 11th. A courier has just delivered a big hefty box. This will not be film music, but it will be film related. This will be a book from Taschen, who are art book publishers. I mean, they have a variety of subjects, but they had a sale on, or they have had a sale So I had a leaf through. Their books are usually a bit on the expensive side, but sometimes if something is reduced, it makes it a little bit more worthwhile. That is the Star Wars archives, episodes 4 to 6, 1977 to 1983. So the original trilogy. This is a big, fat, old, hefty book, which is usually £80, which is a bit on the ridiculous side. But in their sale, they got it at half price, which made it 40. Which I think is possibly a little bit more reasonable. So let's get the cellophane off of that. So we have big old thing. Written by Paul Duncan. Yeah. Has it got an index? Has it got an index? Not really. Bibliography. Oh yes, it has. There we go. Index. So yeah, there's a few references to John Williams. So there's anyway, that's all right, isn't it? I know it's a little later in the same day. I've just received two things from the postman. First of which was some network cable, but you don't care about that. And the other is a box here from La La Land. Quite a chunky box from La La Land. That is because I've bought 5 things from them. Oh, okay. One of them I didn't know was going to be right. Okay, this is from their kind of sales, I think. I was just looking at things that were going relatively cheap. Thunder Road, the film music of Jack Marshall, which includes Thunder Road, Take a Giant Step, and The Rabbit Trap. What was that? A total 78 minutes, so a very nearly full disc. I know nothing about Jack Marshall, but it's like, yeah, give those a go. A SpongeBob movie. This is Sponge on the Run, and that's by Hans Zimmer and Steve Mazzaro. That's only half an hour, but yeah. We've got John Frizzell's Beavis and Butthead Do America. I did like Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. So yeah, thought I'd give this one a go. That's 37 minutes. Thomas Newman Flesh and Bone. It's got 42 minutes of score and then another 20 minutes of bonus tracks, totaling about 62. Yeah, this feels very much like that's got 2 layers of cellophane on it. Either that or a very thick layer of cellophane. Yeah, no, it's just thick. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Overwhelm the Sky by Kostas Daphnis, which I had not heard of, but I went and I read some articles. I think it was on FSM Online from when it had come out, and somebody had said this is one of those kind of obscure scores by someone who nobody's ever heard of, but is really good. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give that a go. And it turns out that that's comes with an extra signed by the composer booklet, which I don't think I was expecting. But yeah, so Daphnis, Frizzell, Newman, Hans Zimmer, Steve Mazzaro, and Jack Marshall. Those will keep, well, they're going to add to the pile of things that are already going to keep me going for probably till the end of the month. Thursday the 12th. I've just had this interestingly shaped package. I'm going to presume there's 2 CDs in there. Let's have a look. Okay, yes, these have come from Presto Music. These are Marco Beltrami's Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and a non-soundtrack Sierra, which is the latest thing from Jane Antonia Cornish. I know her recent work is much more sort of low-key and subdued relative to the earlier film stuff, but and this is, I think, a solo piano work, I think. But yeah, we'll see what that's like. Yeah, all the blurb is on the 3 panels are there, and the disc is in the back. Beltrami's got a tear strip on it. So there is Venom. It is Saturday the 14th, Valentine's Day, and the sun is out for once. A couple of things have been delivered by the postman. Let's see what we got. This in a box is 2 compact discs. And this is Don Davis Bound and Pino Donaggio's The Order. One is a La La Land and the other is a quartet. And then we also have this is an FSM CDs. This is me actually spending a little bit more on something that was a little bit dear, but has been a lot dearer in the past. So I figured, if you're ever going to get this, this is probably the best time to. One of which is Ron Goodwin's Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which often goes, 65 quid or more often. I think this was down at $45 US, I think. And the other one is James Horner's Commando, which also can be a bit hard to get hold of for a decent price. So there we are. That's another 4 to add to the growing pile, isn't it? It's Monday the 16th. This has just come by courier. I think this has come from the States, and I think this is going to be evidence of, I think we're talking about, maybe Eric Woods commented on my videos about the sort of eclecticism of the soundtracks that I've got in here. A few years ago, I went on Google and I was looking at film genres. And it's like, what are all the major genres of film? And it's like, have I got soundtracks that fit in each? Horror, western, adventure, action, war film, animation, film noir, thriller, documentary, rom-com, science fiction, gangster film, biography, fantasy, so on and so forth. I was going through them and it's like, I've got something that fits that, I've got something that fits that, I've got something that fits that. And there was one genre that I was a bit short on. Actually, I'm looking down that list. There's a genre that I'm still a bit short on, which is mockumentary. I don't own Spinal Tap, which is probably about the only mockumentary soundtrack out there. Anyway, God, this is well wrapped up. The suspense is killing you, isn't it? Yes, this is what I think it's what I thought it was going to be. There we go. It's Daniel LeBlanc's The Music of Behind the Green Door. So yes, the genre that I was aware I didn't have much from was smut, blue movies. I've now actually, in the time since then, got maybe 4 or 5. I mean, this is from that period of the early 1970s when blue movies kind of briefly went mainstream and went into sort of regular cinemas. So you had Deep Throat, and you had The Devil in Miss Jones, and you had this. So yeah, I have in the time since collected a few of the soundtracks for a couple of those. Plus, obviously, that kind of there are compilation albums of the kind of sort of funky guitar kind of scores that were typical of those. But yeah, this is one that I've been kind of on the lookout for a long time. So finally to find that at a decent price. So that's that. There we go. It's Wednesday the 18th. Something's been delivered. Not entirely clear what this is going to be. Don't think it's music. This is just strangely packaged. Okay. That's a big long envelope with some corrugated cardboard inside it. Yeah, and inside that we have Christopher Young's Judicial Consent and Basil Poledouris' Kimberley with the terrible use of Comic Sans on it. That's prompted by an Eric Woods Twitch stream. Jolly good. Greetings, it's Sunday the 22nd. This weekend 2 things have been delivered. One in a fairly minimal mailer, plastic mailer. Let's see how well that has survived the trip. Okay, this is prompted by, oh dear, a mess. Stickers on it. Prompted by me talking about how all the different genres and what I got from each genre. And one genre that I realised I really hadn't got anything from is mockumentary. And what do you think is the most famous mockumentary of anything? This is Spinal Tap. Yeah. And this other one. That is following on from my acquisition of Green Door. Let me put some fingers in the appropriate place for this. So this is addition to the soundtracks to Smut catalogue, which is Schulmädchen Report. If you know the album, you'll know why I've got my finger over that. There we are. So that's those 2 for this weekend. It's Monday the 23rd. I've just been playing that Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, one of the more expensive purchases. That's actually worth it. It's good stuff, that. But that's not what I turn the camera on for. I turn the camera on to show this, which according to this has come from Switzerland. California. I reckon I can get this box open without any kind of implement whatsoever. There we go. Boink. Okay, we have John Addison's Joseph Andrews, and we have Les Baxter's Sadismo. I'd actually forgotten I'd ordered those. Here we are on Tuesday the 24th. Actually a really nice first sunny, warmish day of the year. Got some gardening done and washing out on the line and stuff. Anyway, Postie, not my usual fella, has delivered 2 packages. This one's from Music Magpie, or Entertainment Magpie as they call themselves now. And that is Zaza and Zitra's Prom Night. And this other one is from Rosebud, who are in Spain, I think. Undo all the parcel tape because the parcel tape is sticking to the CD. Oh, and the CDs have got a stick of sellotape on them as well. Right, what we've got is one of the Ken Wanberg compilations. This is volume 3, which has got The Amateur of Unknown Origin and The Late Show. And another one of the Murray Gold Doctor Who. This is Day of the Doctor and Time of the Doctor. Yeah. So those to add to the list. Friday the 27th. Something in the post. Getting towards the end of the month, considering how short February is. Let's fight my way into this. I have here I have Sully, which is Clint Eastwood, Christian Jacob, I don't know, and the Tierney Sutton Band. There we go. I thought I'd add a couple of items to my Clint Eastwood collection. Some of the ones that appear to have been better reviewed. It's now Saturday the 28th, so the end of the month. It's quite sunny out there at the moment, despite the fact that the weather forecaster said it was going to be horrible. There are black clouds on the horizon. Anyway, Postman has just delivered this, which is from by Soundtracks. I ordered 3 CDs, 2 of which came with digital downloads, so I've already got those in a sort of non-physical form, and the 3rd one didn't. Now, knowing by Soundtracks, they often, send something else as well, as like a freebie, so I might actually have 4 discs in here. We'll see. No, just the 3, so for once, no freebie. So, I have a couple of volumes of this Basil Poledouris collection. That's volume 1 and 2. Yeah, all sorts of stuff on those. And then a Christopher Young thing called To Spain with Love. I think that's just like a concert piece, I think. What does it mean? So, what you're about to hear is mostly a reworking of unused thematic material originally written for the 2006 film Ask the Dust. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so he's reworked it into concert music. Yeah, that'll be fun. Now, despite it being the last day of the month, I think I might be expecting more stuff later today via courier, so I won't sign off quite yet. Well, nothing else turned up, so that's definitely it for February. Enjoy your March and stay fresh. Cheese bags.